Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, GMB SHOW. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. ITV The Chase viewers weren't happy with the Chasers' questions. One Scots contestant appeared on The Chase on Monday night, but lost out on his share of £61,000, leaving fans frustrated. Viewers tuning into the ITV show branded it sickening as the commercial operations specialist went home with nothing. Fraser from Edinburgh was on the hopeful panel of players alongside Carrie, Elena, and Alex. Fraser, who works for an online review firm, was the last to take on the chaser, the Vixen. Fraser told host Bradley Walsh that if he won the jackpot, he would put it towards visiting every Disney park in the world. He accumulated £5,000 in his cash builder ahead of a tough game against Jenny Ryan. Fraser managed to get back to the team after bagging himself a spot in the final chase. He wasn't the only Scottish person to make it through, with Alex from Fife joining him alongside Carrie. The trio had collectively banked £61,000 and achieved a combined score of 20, but it proved not to be enough to actually take home the cash prize. Get the latest daily record-breaking news on WhatsApp. Our community members are treated to special offers, promotions, and adverts from us and our partners. You can check out at any time. More info. Carrie, Alex, and Fraser were caught by the Vixen with just 12 seconds remaining. Despite a great performance throughout the show, the team went home empty-handed. However, viewers seemed to feel the Vixen was dealt an easier hand. Many took to social media to discuss her triumph. One penned, "Much easier questions for the Vixen." Another added, "What easy questions for Jenny." A third posted, "Much easier questions for the chaser as per." One even said, "What a piss take that was. The questions for the chaser were so simple." Last week, show host Bradley Walsh opened up on his role on The Chase. In 2009, Bradley took the reins as host of ITV's quiz phenomenon, marking a strategic shift in his professional path. Walsh detailed how he snagged the opportunity to host The Chase after popping into ITV studios to inquire about presenting jobs. While reminiscing during a conversation with the former head of daytime TV, she mentioned an upcoming quiz show concept, prompting Bradley's feedback. Recounting their discussion, Bradley shared, "I took it away and I said, yes, this can work, this will work." And she said, "Okay, well, we're going to make a pilot." And I said, "I'll do it for you." And she said, "Yeah, but it's only an office run-through." And I said, "I'll do it for you, don't worry." During an appearance on the Tommy Tiernan show last year, he remembered kick-starting the pilot and devising the monikers for the Chasers. Fast forward nearly 16 years, Bradley's enthusiasm for the chase hasn't waned, and he has no intention of quitting anytime soon. In conversation with the Daily Mail, he mused, "Until people say they've had enough and start switching off, I'll do it. We've had such an extraordinary time together. It's the best job in the world." The tension in the studio was thick enough to taste, like a cold, bitter wind sweeping through the corridors of ITV. Three Scots contestants, wearing proud grins and nerves hidden beneath tartan scarves, had defied all odds. Ela, a history teacher from Dundee, Alan, a postie from Glasgow, and wee Fiona, just 19 and clutching her lucky St. Andrew's necklace, had built a colossal £72,000 in the prize pot. Bradley Walsh had done his usual dance of disbelief, hands on his head, pacing the floor as the studio lights glared down like judgmental eyes. The viewers at home were on the edge of their sofas, mugs of tea forgotten, Twitter feeds ablaze with "Come on Scotland" and "They've got this" hashtag swirling. Then came Mark the Beast Labbit, rolling his shoulders like a heavyweight stepping into the ring. His eyes flickered with a hint of respect, but that glint of competitive fire returned quickly as he leaned forward, pressing the buzzer with the confidence of a man who devoured thousands of hopefuls before. 2 minutes stood between the Scots and history. They were unstoppable. Question after question, Ela nailed a tough science answer about potassium, Alan roared Berlin for a capital cities question, and Fiona, voice trembling, correctly named the artist of a Renaissance painting. They pushed the score to 20, Bradley yelling, "That's what I call a final," as the audience erupted. But then Mark began to hunt. Every correct answer from the Beast felt like a punch in the stomach. The seconds ticked away, the blue lights flashing, the tension a physical, gnawing ache. Ela whispered, "Come on, we can do this," her hands clasped tightly in her lap. With 10 seconds left, Mark was on 19. The next question came. What element is represented by the letters Fe on the periodic table? Mark paused. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. The audience collectively held their breath. Then he slammed the buzzer. Iron. Beep. Correct. Time left, 4 seconds. The next question was already halfway out of Bradley's mouth. In 1973, which band released the album Beep? Time Up? The studio fell silent, a heavy hush before reality crashed down. Mark had reached 20 just in time. A second earlier, a second later, and it could have been different. The Scots had lost by a single breath. Fiona's eyes welled as Bradley hugged her. Alan looked down, shaking his head with a half smile, heartbreak dancing with disbelief. Ela nodded at Mark with respect, though her disappointment was visible. Viewers were sickened. Social media exploded. No way! Seconds away from 72K. Got it for them. My stomach is in bits. They deserve that. Absolutely robbed. They played so well. But as they walked off the set, heads held high, Bradley clapped them on the backs and said, "You lot were brilliant. Don't let that clock break your spirits." For the Scots, it wasn't just about the money. It was about proving themselves, about reminding everyone that sometimes, even when you lose, the nation watching will remember your fight. And for a few moments, the whole country felt that loss with them.